Hey, this is Joe Hollywood, and right now you're watching Byron Scott's Fast Break.
Back with another episode of Byron Scott's Fast Break. Jay Wagers, the coach.
What up, what up?
Mr. Byron Scott. And today on Fast Break, we're diving into the world of sports cards with one of the most talked about names in the game, known to millions online as the biggest streamer on the Whatnot app. He turned ripping packs into a multi-million-dollar business. Slide some of my way. Pulling grails, giveaways, and building a passionate community along the way, but it hasn't all been glossies and PSA 10s. Reference to cards, if you didn't get that.
I got you. That's a good reference.
Controversy, loyalty, and hustle all have shaped his story, from flipping cards to giving back to charity. He's done it his way. And today we're getting the real story behind Mr. Joe Hollywood is in the building.
Awesome. Thank you, guys.
What up, Joe?
Yeah.
Look, man, it is great to be here. Thank you so much for having me. And, you know, I feel incredibly blessed, you know, building the friendship with Byron and getting a chance to meet you, Jay. It's awesome. So
Lots
thank
of
you for
love.
having me here.
Thank you. Thank you for coming.
We're going to start with that nickname, Joe Hollywood, because, you know, I pulled it up on X and I saw something completely different.
I would highly suggest your audience say that's not there.
So how'd you get the name? And what's the real story behind Joe Hollywood?
Well. First of all, that's definitely not me. So definitely not me.
My
wife will definitely verify that. All right. So, oh my God. So the name Joe Hollywood actually came from when I was a kid. I went to public school, and you know, I grew up really poor. I grew up on welfare, and I was casted. Actually, me and a few of my friends were casted for a movie. And it was a movie from Woody Allen, if you guys remember that, his name, right? And oh God, and this goes back to another story. So we didn't even know the name of the movie. And my family, they thought I was going to be casted for like 100 different roles. So I was stuck watching every god-awful film of Woody Allen when I was a kid. And when you're a kid, you just want to watch cartoons.
Right.
You want to watch sports. Like for me, I wanted to watch sports, right? And I was watching like Annie and like, I don't know what else he did. He did like, oh my God, what was the one that was like an alien movie? And it was so bad for me as a kid. I couldn't even watch it. I was done. But here I was, you know, in third grade watching Woody Allen's, you know, trifecta of movies, and found out that I was in like 7 parts of the movie. I was an extra in the movie. Had a very tiny role. And my friends abused me for it. And they were like, oh yeah, look, it's Joe Hollywood. And I'm like, oh, great. And so the name kind of stuck. And so when I decided to do Whatnot, I was like, you know what? I think this would be a pretty cool name to run with. And here we are today.
Because you're from the East Coast.
I am from the East Coast.
You still have an accent.
Oh, big time.
I'm not giving it up.
Big
either.
time.
I'm just telling you. Yeah,
He's
I'm going to die with that thing.
Yeah, he's another big Laker fan from the East Coast.
Yeah.
That's how we got to be so tight on our first meeting. But Joe, for people who don't understand what live break means, kind of give us a little bit about that as well in your world.
In my world. So I'm happy to do that. So in my world, what it means is we're going to take a box of rare basketball cards or football cards or baseball cards, and we're either going to sell that by the pack. I do it a little bit differently. What a lot of people do in the breaking business is they'll go ahead and they'll sell a box of cards, or like 4 or 5 boxes of cards, and they'll sell it by a team or by a conference or a division, and that's how they sell it. So for example, let's say there's 32 spots. We're doing a football break. You get the Chiefs. I get the Bills. You're rooting for your player to come out in those boxes. For me, I do it a little bit different. I actually sell the individual packs of the boxes. So that way, if you get a team that you really don't want, then you kind of like disengage from it. But if I sell you a pack, you get everything that's inside that pack. So every single time a new pack comes up, it's a fresh start. You know, you don't know what you're going to get at. And especially when we're going for old school basketball. And I was talking about this before. We actually spoke about this last night. And we were ripping open a box of 1980 basketball. And can you imagine if you have the Celtics? Well, hold on. Imagine you have the Lakers.
What'd you just say?
I caught myself on that one. I caught myself. Imagine you have the Lakers and I have the Celtics. And I got to now split up. One of us is going to win the Magic Larry Bird rookie card. Because they're both on the same card. So for me, it just makes it a lot cleaner and a lot easier. And I think people enjoy that. And I'm trying to make it a lot simpler.
You built a massive following on Whatnots, and I read somewhere like $5 million you made last year.
Oh no! All right, so let's be
talk about this business empire
all right,
of
so
yours.
well, first of all, before we get to Business Empire, let me talk about Business Insider, who wrote that
Okay.
story. Okay, so the lady asked me how much we did in sales. That's not how much we made in profits. Okay, and that's a sales number, and so that was kind of like a kind of catchy kind of title that they put to that. The fact of the matter is that we had no social media following, zero social media following when we started Whatnot. Whatnot started on accident. It started because I had a lot of cards in storage. So the story goes that I collected as a kid. And these cards were not only in storage, but I moved from New York to Georgia. And we just couldn't find a house that we felt like it was going to be our home. I think there's a big difference between a house and a home. And so we were looking for this house to be a home in Georgia. Moving from New York, it was kind of hard to do. We actually moved into 6 different homes in 7 years. Whether it was trying to like build a pool and we couldn't do it, or we wanted a great backyard for our kids to play with. And that was important, right? And so we go through this. We finally found our dream home. Like, this is it. The stuff comes back from storage. And I thought my wife was going to have an aneurysm. She's just like, where are all these cards coming from? We have to have a garage sale. We got to have a rummage sale. I was like, no, baby, don't worry about it. What she didn't know is that me and my son were literally on Whatnot for the last 9 months, even buying more cards.
Oh, wow.
So like there was like so many cards that were still coming in because he got me, like me and him would watch sports together. And one of the things that he loves to do, my son Joe Jr., he used to love watching hardwood classics. So he used to come home from school and we would watch basketball together. And it's just awesome. Like he's like he's a little amazing mini me, and he's just the best. And I have 3 kids. I love them. No, so Joe Jr., Viola, Anthony. I love you guys so much. I love my wife Dory. So anyway, so we come in, and it's awesome because now we're buying together, we're rooting for teams together, and then she just like this is just like overtaking the house. So we go on Whatnot. We try to start selling it, and I got to tell you, I was on Whatnot for probably about 10 months. And I had 0 viewership. Because remember, I have no social media following. I have like 2 people in my room. It's the same 2 people trying to win a free giveaway. I'm like, oh my God. And I just couldn't stop. I just couldn't quit. Like something inside of me, I was like, you know what? I got to make this work. I got to make this successful. And I just didn't want to fail at it. And so little by little, we went to different places in my home. Like I was selling on a ping pong table for a while, and my numbers went from like 2 people to 10 people. It's like, wow, we're making real progress here. And I'm like, wow, this is awesome. And little by little, I would just take other people's advice on like how to make the show a little bit better. And now when we start a room, we'll have 1,000, 2,000, 3,000. I mean, I set the record for over 26,000 people concurrently in a show, which for Whatnot is actually it's the all-time record that they've ever had. And now our total audience, like total views on like a Friday night show, or anywhere between 100,000 to 250,000 people.
It's crazy because I've been on there with Joe and watching the number of people that are watching and that are trying to bid for certain prizes, that are going for the giveaways. It's amazing, and this man's energy is unreal.
Yeah.
Unreal. I mean, 12 hours, 24 hours, 34 hours, 36 hours shows.
I know.
That he's going for 3 days, then a day and a half at least, of just steady talking and just entertaining the people and giving all these great gifts away. Your generosity is unbelievable. We talked about this the other day. In 2 hours, you raised over $100,000.
We did.
For a hospital, I think
for
it was in Boston,
Children's
right?
Hospital, correct.
So when you become successful, just like anything else, you've been very generous in your giving. But with that, there's always haters.
Always.
How do you know what I'm saying? The bigger you get, the more haters you attract. So with that, how do you kind of separate the two and continue to stay Joe Hollywood as you have done so far in your career?
So a few things with that, right? Is I have my share of haters, and I'm totally okay with that for a lot of reasons. Number one, the people that are going to hate on me are not going to be the people that are going to change my life for the positive. And I've learned that. The people that don't like you and the people that want to see you fail, those aren't going to be people that I want to surround myself with anyway, right? You're always going to have people that are going to be jealous of you or going to want to see you fail for any kind of reason, whether you breathe the wrong way, whether you look a different way, whether you talk a different way, and I'm okay with that because that's not my audience. Those aren't the people that I want to bring into my group. At this point in my life, I want to be very selective with the people that I want to bring in my circle. So for that, listen, I pray for those people. God bless them. But the fact of the matter is, I think there's a lot of jealousy. I think a lot of people see the success of the show and they say, well, we could have did that too. Or, how was he able to do it? And I think the biggest answer I could say, it was working really hard. It was
Yeah.
hard
Yeah.
work. It was a grind. It was persevering. I'm not telling you I'm more talented than anybody else. I'm not. I'm not telling you that I'm better than anybody else. I'm not. You know, that I don't ever feel that way. I'm always going to say humble. My humility, I'm always going to believe. You know, my roots are faith, family, and friendship. I say it all the time. And I'm a very big believer in that. And so the people that, you know, maybe say, oh, maybe they're jealous or listen, you know, I pray for you. I hope that you find your happiness. But hating on me ain't going to bring it.
Me and Joe had some great conversations over the last 2 months that we've got to know each other.
Yeah.
But I found out even more last night of us just being able to have a conversation. Talk a little bit about your upbringing, because you said something I thought interesting last night when we were talking about not having a dad, you know, being on welfare and how you got to where you are today. And you just kind of hit on it when you talked about how it was hard work, you know, and dedication to what you wanted to do and wanted to be successful.
Yeah. So growing up, so my mom and my dad got separated when I was 4. And when I was, you know, the very first memories that I remember is my dad lived in the basement and my mom would live on the floor, and we was a little bungalow house is what we grew up in.
Mm-hmm.
What I grew up in. I grew up an only child. And then I remember him leaving when I was 4 years old. And when he went to go say goodbye to me, I didn't give him a hug. I actually punched him. And I actually kept punching him when I was a kid. And my mom had to tell me to stop because she was afraid he was going to hit me back, because I just had that. I already knew, even at a young age, that he wasn't a dad. Right. And so he leaves. We're on public assistance. We're on food stamps. I can still tell you what those food stamps look like. That food stamp booklet looks like. We'd have donations from the church, you know, the unblocked cuts of, you know, yellow cheese in my kitchen. And we really depended on people to grow up. And when you're doing that, one of the things that I instilled in my head is I see how much pain was in my mom's face. And she wasn't, you know, may God rest her soul. She wasn't, you know, she had her own issues. And so for me, I always wanted to be independent of all that. The only way that I knew how to be independent of all that is by working harder than anybody else. Because I always felt like if I work harder than everybody else, I'm going to get better results, and I never have to rely on anybody else to do that for me. And so I think that's where these 36-hour shows actually came from, is because I would start these shows, and the more popular they got, people would be like, hey, I'm not off from work for another 3 hours. We keep missing your show. We would love to see your show. Would you be able to stay on a little bit longer? I'm like, hell yeah. Hard work never chased me away, and just kept on getting longer and longer. And, you know, hence here we are. Friday night, they start and they end on Sunday. Yeah.
Wow, that's crazy. 36 hours live television?
And talking for that time.
Yeah,
the
I was
whole
going to
time.
say,
Yeah,
with all the high energy for 36 straight hours.
I gotta have a whole lot of coffee, boy.
Yeah, you gotta tell me
I can't do it.
the craziest thing that ever happened live for that on your show. What's the craziest thing that ever happened?
Well, there's been a lot of crazy things that have happened. I mean, we've had the power go out during a show where we lost everything, and we had a flashlight and the battery I had left on my phone to go live, and we've done that. But I think the craziest thing that happened is I'm getting into Whatnot, and I'm a huge basketball junkie. Like, I love basketball, and I've had a couple of rounds of my collecting, like when I was a teenager, and then the internet came around and AOL, and I was a big Kobe fan. And man, did I think
So was that guy?
Yeah, I believe it. Yeah, well, let me tell you something. I was incensed at trying to get every single Kobe card that I could. And back then, you couldn't, it wasn't like today. You just pay on PayPal, or you send somebody a Zelle. You had to send somebody a check, a physical check, to somebody you never met before. You have to send it. It would take a week and a half for that check to process and clear, because it's an out-of-state check. It wasn't like today. And then you'd have to wait for this guy, you know, who's sending his cards back. And, oh, by the way, he sent you an extra Mountain Dew because that was your gift for waiting. and that was it. And that was and that was how we used to buy on America Online. And before that was like a message board. And but before that, it was at a collectible store, and you'd have to hope that they had something, which they normally did not. And that was how we used to collect. So for me on Whatnot, my craziest story is I'm ripping open a box of cards from '03. It's LeBron's rookie year. And it's EX credentials. It's a very rare box. It's worth several $1,000s just to have the box. And we're opening it up, and a Kobe card comes out, and I've never seen the card before. And I'm like, oh, wow, we got Kobe Bryant. And then I just freak out. And every profanity that I know in my head just comes flying out of my mouth because it's numbered out of 9 in the world. And it's one of the rarest Kobe cards in existence. So we hit the essential credentials, Kobe Bryant. There's 2 of them. One was numbered out of 72 and the other one's numbered out of 9. And we hit the one that was numbered out of 9. And it's a very special one. And the serial number is actually right on the card. And man, pulling that card out, I literally had to stop the show for a little while. I had to breathe. I had to get my breathing right. And it was just one of those things where it's like, wow, it's Kobe, the guy that I collected when I was growing up, one of my favorite players. And now it's coming out in my show. And so the card was so valuable, I actually flew the card up to the buyer. So I jumped on an airplane with his purchases and I actually flew, I won't tell you what state he was in, but I flew up and I met him and I hand delivered the card. And that's actually something that we do today, is that if you spend, we have a number that if you spend an excess amount of money, we're going to fly those cards to you, or we're going to drive. And we have buyers today that we have either staff or myself will go and meet the buyers. Like if they're going to spend significant money, we want you to have an amazing experience.
Wow.
Like we want your experience. Like we want you to feel the experience. We're going to give you extra stuff, whatever. But I want you to understand how valuable you are as a buyer to the show, being a part of the show. We want to give back to you.
That's cool. That's cool.
That is.
Now, we know that this business, Joe, is a little bit cutthroat.
To say the least.
Yeah, to say the least, a little bit cutthroat. So have you lost any business relationships or personal relationships throughout the years because of you being on Whatnot and getting to the popularity that you've gotten to?
Absolutely. Absolutely. And it sucks because to me, in my heart, I always try to stay true to myself. Mm-hmm. And I think people look at me in a different way. Like people that are from the outside, they don't ever get a chance to know what I'm really about, right? I'm really about, my focus is on growing the hobby. And what I mean by that is I think that this is something that used to go into like a baseball card store. It was like one of those smoky places you used to go into, don't know what anything really is about, to something that's now very mainstream. The most expensive basketball card of all time just recently sold to Mr. Wonderful from Shark Tank, right? For over $12 million, right? The dual logo man of Michael Jordan and Kobe Bryant. And so you're seeing this, I'm sorry? Yeah.
The 2 goats.
Oh, absolutely. My 2 goats. I mean,
we know, Brian.
So
it is the 2 goats.
Yeah.
Yeah. And to me, and then 2 goats for different reasons, right? Jordan,
right.
For all the reasons we know. But for Kobe, for me, was because of his work ethic. Because he worked so hard. And we spoke about this last night. We were talking about how, and him and Shaq, right? And how they were. And here's the thing. That's what I always related to myself, was that an unbelievable work ethic. And that's how I want my staff and the people that work for my company. I want them to, listen, I'm not Kobe Bryant. I don't have that kind of basketball talent. And I'm not saying that I have an amazing talent when it comes to this, but I do have work ethic. And I want them to see that, hey, if you put enough work into this, if you put much dedication into this, if you believe in yourself, put your faith in God, put your family up there, all these good things are eventually going to happen for you because you're building your self-confidence by doing those things. Yeah. And that's something that I would love to pass down to not only my kids, but to other kids and other young adults out there that want to build themselves up, or they're in a bad situation and maybe they're not the most talented athletically, right? Or they never have an opportunity to do those things that they want to do. How can they still be successful in life? And I feel like maybe they can see someone that just refuses to quit and maybe say, hey, maybe in a different realm, maybe they're great at something else, but they see that drive and commitment. And I think if you show that, I think it goes a long way.
Yeah. Joe, you built for this shit, bro. I mean, this is you. This is you. You know what I'm saying? I mean, this is you.
You've had NBA players, celebrities, big names on your streams. Who has surprised you with their knowledge of the card game the most?
Wow. Knowledge of cards actually was Grant Williams, who currently plays for the Hornets.
Yeah. And
great guy. We met at a card shop and we just started talking and we hit it off. And I texted him. I said, hey, you want to rip some cards with me? He's like, yeah. He said, okay. And I was like, all right, I'm going to be at XYZ on Sunday. Do you want to come up? And he's like, yeah. So we actually went up, and my son was there. And I went downstairs. He got there like an hour earlier than I did. I thought he was coming an hour later. He showed up an hour earlier. By the time I got there, he ripped through like 6 boxes of the cards without me. I'm like, Grant, what are you doing? He's like, man, I couldn't wait for you. I couldn't wait for you. I was like, oh my God. And I actually have the videos of Grant and my son doing pack battles and going after different cards together, and just really down to earth, like really good guy.
Yeah.
Like really good guy. He just, and he actually invited us. He was like, Joe, and this was last year. He goes, Joe, I want you to come. He goes, we'll play the Hawks. He goes, I'm going to give your son my game jersey. I was like, really? I think that's awesome. And then he busted his leg up. So I'm coming for that jersey, Grant. I'm just letting you know I'm coming for that jersey.
Promise is a promise,
Promise is
Grant.
a promise, baby.
You should have did that.
Yeah.
Joe, what is the most valuable card that you have personally pulled from the stream?
Wow. Okay. So that Kobe card that I just mentioned to you. Kobe card.
MJ.
I will tell you something really cool. Okay. I got to sit up for this one. This is really cool. This really gets me excited. I mean, I get really excited about this. This one I get really excited about. So a good friend of mine helped me with this idea, where what we did as a promotion is we had a box of Tiger Woods' rookie year. And there's 24 packs in the box. And I sold 1 pack an hour for $1 just to give back to the hobby. And the box is worth, I think a couple of grand, a couple of thousand, like anywhere between like $1,200 to $2,000, depending where you get it from. I said, you know what? Let me do a pack for $1 for 24 hours. I'm going to be on for 36. Might as well use 24 of them, right? So I sell this pack for $1. A guy gets it. He pulls out a Tiger Woods rookie autograph on card. We pull it out for $1.
Wow.
Oh, it's on card, no sticker. That's a great question. I will. So I'll say that right now. So right now, so in modern collecting, a lot of times like Panini or Topps, what you would say more of on the Panini side, you would see them sign a sticker or up. Yeah. I mean, but the thing with Leaf is they don't have any of the real, like the license, and that's why, when you're thinking about it, and you're right, like Leaf does that, Upper Deck does that with the stickers. They'll sign a sticker and then they put it on the card so that way it makes it easier for them to distribute, right? Those on-card autographs are really special. Now, Upper Deck has had the deal with Tiger Woods for a long time, just like they've had with Michael Jordan. And recently LeBron left there and he went to Topps. So we open up this card. It's numbered. And it's got Tiger Woods' autograph, rookie, on there. And I'm freaking out. I'm like, wow, this card's probably worth, 4,000 or 5,000, maybe even 10,000. The guy is a teacher, not like he is. He's a teacher. He had recently, I think, lost his job, went to like a substitute teacher position, really needed this. Doesn't know anything about the grading process or getting his cards prepped. He just knows he should get it graded. He turns it into PSA. He gets a PSA 10, auto 10. He gets a double 10 on the card.
Wow.
He puts it up for auction. It's all for almost $40,000. So PSA is probably the most prolific grading service that's out there. There's 3 main ones. PSA, Beckett does grading, and then CGC. SGC used to also be there. Not to make this too complicated, but PSA bought out SGC. So there's maybe like 3 major grading companies. There's some up and comers like Arena, but there's like 3 big ones. And they grade them on a scale of 1 to 10. 10 being gem mint, or even if it's they have these things called black labels for Beckett. Those are called pristine, which are the best of the best. And if they're a gem mint on Beckett, it's 95. But for all intents and purposes, a 10 is the best grade. Not only did he get a 10 on the condition of the card when they test the surface, the corners, the centering on the card, but now they judge the auto. And that came up a 10, which means there's no ink smudges. It's perfectly clear. To get a 10 is very hard. To get a double 10 is incredible for a 24-year-old card. Because they had that card came out 2001. That card's been in that package for 24 years. For that to get a 10-10 after 24 years, I mean, that was pretty amazing. And so that's exactly the grade that he got. So it was a life-changing card. So sometimes it's not the most expensive, but it's the one that had a lot of meaning. And for me, that had a ton of meaning because it changed that guy's life.
Yeah. 40,000.
This is the part I don't understand. Like, what constitutes a 10 or a 9.5 or a 9? Because I see them on the cards all the time. What would make something, what's the difference between a 9.5 and a 10?
Yeah. So PSA has a grading process. And what they'll do is they'll take a light or they'll have, it'll look like a laboratory microscope. And what they're going to do, they're going to judge how that centering is on the card next to the borders, right? Is the picture centered perfectly? Then they're going to do is they're going to look at the borders on the card. They're going to look at the edges to make sure there's no creasing or no foil loss. They're going to look at the corners, make sure those corners are shot. Like back in the day when we were collecting, we would fling the cards.
Yeah.
Right? We play flip.
All over the place.
People used to put them in their bicycle spokes, right?
Yeah.
I mean, that's the way it was. We've moved from that. We've moved from a society that used to think of these things as trinkets or things that used to, use for whatever reason. Now they're like almost works of art. And it's changed. Like people used to put their cards in binders and books. You don't see that anymore. Right. I did a show with somebody and they were talking about how they put their cards in a macaroni and cheese box. And he's like, oh, we didn't have any boxes. We used to cut off the top of the macaroni and cheese boxes and we used to lay the cards in there. I was like, oh, I didn't even do that. Like my mom, because we didn't have any money, we couldn't afford a binder. She took the photos out of her old photo album. I think it was her wedding album. She's like, all right, stuff your cards in here. I was stuffing cards in like her old wedding album. Yeah, like because we didn't have anywhere else to put it. And so with photo albums. And so, yeah, that's the evolution. And you're going to see this evolve more and more. I think sports cards are going to continuously get more and more popular. I think that you're going to start to see it as even an investment class, an asset class. I think they're going to look at it as like works of art, where people used to always invest in fine art because they're one-of-a-kind items. That's what you're starting to see here now.
Yeah. Where do you see whatnot? Because we talked earlier about the evaluation of whatnot at this particular time, which is incredible.
It's unbelievable.
In 5 years from now, where do you see this going, Joe? Because, I mean, it seems like the sky's the limit.
It's not just them. I think it's the sector. I think it's social selling. I think as a community, I think people together, they're always on to the next big thing, right? Mm-hmm. And so you saw it where people went from Facebook, and that was cool. Then they went to Instagram, and then that became the cool thing. And then people went from Instagram, and it's still cool. Instagram's so cool. Trust me, I'm trying to build that up. Fucking impossible. But hold on. but
well, you don't need to tell me twice.
So I mean, but we've gone from that, and then people went to TikTok. Yeah. But now what's happening is people want more of an experience where they're not alone anymore. They want that connectivity. And so what you're seeing is with social selling is now they're able to be involved with their hobbies, the things that they like, whether it's sneakers, whether it's baseball cards or basketball cards or football cards, memorabilia. Maybe they're into liquidations. Maybe they're into beauty products or high-end luxury bags. I mean, it is incredible. I mean, unfortunately, my wife found some of these channels, and now,
I'm trying to keep my wife from finding some of these channels.
Oh man, it's unbelievable. Don't tell her to swipe up during
exactly.
the show. Just tell her not to swipe up during all.
Don't swipe up. Swipe down.
No, don't even swipe down. Just keep your fingers off.
Right. Or just don't swipe. Just
don't swipe.
Just stay off of it.
No, leave my channel on. That's it. Don't worry about it. Just leave Joe Hollywood channel on. But no, it's becoming more and more and more. How do I say this? People then are in a room with live sellers where they're having this one-on-one interaction, and they're able to buy these items. They're able to see them, and now you build a relationship with the people that you're selling with, right? And then that becomes even like a different kind of paradigm that you're bringing into it. So it's for me, I think that this is where you're going to see over the next 3 to 5 years, all of the, how people kind of leapfrog. They went from Facebook, they went to Instagram, then they went to, let's say, TikTok, X, right? Yeah. And I think you're going to start to see it come to here because now that it's not just connecting, it's an experience. And people are curious, like, how are you going to set up your show? Yeah. Right? And people, and now you get able to get creative. You're able to build what your vision is and what that looks like.
The crazy thing, Jay, is like, when Joe's on, I'll come on, right? Because I'm watching him, and I'll come on, and then he'll charm me in, add me in, right? And you can see the comments and what Joe's talking about as far as the interaction, man. It is It's really cool.
Is most
It's
of your
really cool.
fans like basketball enthusiasts?
I would say that's where it started,
Okay.
and now it's more of. So it's interesting. Definitely started with basketball because that was a big part of my collection was
Yeah.
basketball, and then I found out that I had football fans, and I was like, wow, let's get some of my football cards out, and let's cater to those audiences, and then baseball became a big thing, especially now with Shohei Ohtani, and that like really, I mean, because he's a
But that's where
generational.
cards started. Was baseball was the
Baseball started with me when I
the
started collecting.
big back in the day, and then when did it transition over to basketball?
You know what? For me, I think once you were able to go online and to buy and sell cards, I felt like people really started to say, wow, there's actually a lot more. I think when people started seeing those Michael Jordan autographs, when they were able to start to number the cards, because that's another evolution of the card. So back in the day, back in the 80s, they didn't have autographs that you would hit out of a pack of cards. They didn't have numbered cards. It was all base sets. Now they're still very valuable because of how old they are, incredibly valuable, some of them. But when they started making these variations, these different looking cards, especially in the late 90s, I think that's when it switched. And people were like, wow, this is really cool. We want to go for those. And then during the pandemic, it was like everybody wanted to collect those cards, and those prices skyrocketed. And then they came down a little bit, and now they're going higher than ever. And the reason being, and the reason they're setting records, is that it's becoming more and more mainstream, and more people are plugged in. And I think what a lot of people are forgetting right now is that this is happening domestically. Social selling in China, we're still way behind them as far as social selling is going. When it gets to that kind of scope here in the United States, and then obviously in Europe and South America, I think what you're going to see is these card prices are going to, I think this is the tip of the iceberg. I think it's the tip of the iceberg, especially for social selling. So that's where I see it. And I think the trends happen to agree with me. I mean, if you speak to Gary Vee, he'll tell you the same thing. If you speak to, Whatnot just recently raised another, $255 million, or over an $11 billion valuation was just announced. There's a reason for that.
Crazy.
Yeah.
You know, it's crazy. I was reading, the Melendez brothers were, they were talking about releasing them. And there's a card.
2 cards.
Oh, there's 2 cards.
Okay.
With the
2
Melendez
cards.
brothers in the background at a Laker game. And those cards, I don't know how much they ended up selling for, but.
So they're a Laker game. So there's 2 of them. One of them, Mark Jackson.
Yeah, Mark Jackson.
Mark Jackson. So that's what I was going to say. So there's 2 of them. One of them is Mark Jackson. This is the one everybody knows. 90 hoops, Mark Jackson. They're in the background. But recently they discovered on a special Michael Jordan set that came out, I guess people overlooked this for the longest time. There's a card of MJ, and the Melendez brothers are sitting in the background as well. Yes. And that was a recent discovery, and those cards went bananas.
Well, I'm going to tell you this, Joe Hollywood, there's also a Kid J Sedell 3 card out there as well. I am on a basketball card.
Are you really? Which Sedell 3 card?
It's a Sedell 3 card. He's diving, and there's Kid J right there.
Yeah. Do you know which card it is?
I do. I have about 5 or 6 of them at home.
Do you really?
I do.
We got to get that for the show. You got to sign one and put it on the show. I'll put it on the show. I think it'd be really cool.
Give you the 38 cents.
Yeah. My commission
You ain't
is
right, B. You ain't right.
my commission is 17 cents. No, but for real, there's a Sedell 3.
I want to see it. Take a picture of it and send it to me. I
That's
want to
really
see it.
cool.
Yeah, I want to see that.
I love that. That's actually
So
pretty awesome.
we know how crazy Sedell 3 was.
Yes.
I got a question for you. With all the good that comes from it, there's a lot of bad that comes from the sports cards collectible market. There's a lot of live breakers that have taken some heat lately for bagging cards. And how does that community feel about the live break? Is it affecting the community?
Listen, here's what I think. I think that in any kind of business or in anything that's popular, you're always going to have people that might do things on the wrong side. Whether it's professional sports, whether it's card breaking, it's always going to happen. And it's unfortunate, right? It's very unfortunate. But I think that the community as a whole, I think what happens is when you start to see that happen, for me, believe it or not, it actually helps me. Because when you have people that are unscrupulous that do those things, those people then want to be in part of somebody's community like myself, where we're really trying to take care of buyers. And we're trying to go above and beyond for them. And they see that. And that just helps me continuously like really cement the business that we have with those buyers, because they know that, you know, that's not something that we do. And we really enjoy taking care of people and helping people. And look, you pay for your experience. It's not always about.
What were they accused of doing? They were accused of taking some or going through, opening the boxes, getting the cases, or getting the case, going through the boxes,
Resealing packs.
and resealing packs.
Is that what they were doing?
That's what you saw.
That's what they were accused of doing. I wasn't there, so I don't know.
So right. So my answer to this is simple. You know, I think anyone that does that, anyone who's doing that, does not have a place in this community for a lot of reasons. Number one, you're not just stealing from people. You're taking opportunities away from, like, let's say, from kids, or you're taking opportunities away from adults to really get involved into the community, and then they take a look at it as being something that they don't want to be a part of, right? You feel like you want to take a shower after you read something like that, right? So I don't know the exact things that I don't know the exact breaker that you're talking about, but I will tell you that, like, that's not something that, you know, that we're ever going to apologize on anyone's behalf for doing that. We don't accept that. That's not something that, you know, that we'll ever do. But it's more importantly, we feel bad for those people that get that, because we never want to see that happen to anybody. We want to present an environment where you know that you are going to get an incredible experience, that you have a genuine shot at hitting one of these rare cards. And I think that's why our numbers continuously go higher, because it seems like every week we're always pulling out something amazing for our buyers, whether it's a 101, whether it's a special Jordan card or a Kobe card or a LeBron card. I'll give you an example. About 2 months ago, we were opening up a box of cards. It was 2009. It was Steph Curry's rookie year. And we opened up and we hit a gold LeBron auto. The issue was, it was a gold auto on a gold card. You can hardly even see it. Like, it didn't make sense of why they signed it this way. To our knowledge, it might be the only one in existence that he signed in that color pen. Like, he signed them in all different color pens, but we've never even seen one. Nobody really knows the exact value of it, because it's never been, and it's on my Instagram. If you guys want to check out my Instagram, The Real Joe Hollywood, it's actually, the pull is on there. So there's always something really, really cool that you're able to hit. And those kind of experiences, I think, are what people need to see. Because I think it's always like, for me, we're always trying to bring those positive experiences out there. Like, oh man, look what we did this week, that week. Are the negative ones always going to outshine the positive ones? That's human nature. It's why people watch the news. Yeah. People watch the news. They don't watch the news to find out that it's sunny outside.
All negative shit.
Yeah, it's all negative shit. Yeah. Right? So they don't watch it to be like, oh yeah, everything's great today. You turn off the news. There's nothing to watch, right? So that's why they don't headline the news with the weather. Right. Right. Unless it's a bad event, unless it's a hurricane, unless it's a tornado. That's where they right.
Something negative.
Yeah.
Joe, let me ask you this, because I think, in knowing you, the short period of time that I've known you, that you would be successful no matter what. So what if Whatnot turned off tomorrow? What would Joe Hollywood do?
Joe Hollywood would probably be on Fanatics. I'm just telling you. I mean, I was on Fanatics. I was on Fanatics Live, and first of all, I have a great relationship with them. We're actually the #1 seller of under wraps. I know in the United States, maybe the world. Wow. So nobody does more of the under wraps products than we do, and they're phenomenal products. I have a really great relationship. I was on their platform. I was on live, and Whatnot. You know, my audience on Whatnot. I just felt like I needed to devote more time to them, because I have built up such a great community. So I'm sure that's, you know, if something happened to Whatnot, I'm sure I would be. I'm sure I found a place.
Yeah, I'm sure you would too.
Joe, I want to ask you this. So you've become a personality that people love or love to hate. What's the biggest misconception about Joe Hollywood?
I think the biggest misconception of me is my love of this hobby. I think people misconception of me is they think that I'm in it for myself. And I'm not telling you that I'm not rewarded by what I do, but my biggest goal in this is to build up a platform to build it up strong enough where then I'll be able to use my platform to do a lot of good, just like we did for the Boston Children's Hospital, just like I did for the North Texas Food Bank. One of the biggest passions is I really do enjoy to help people. And so I want to build this platform and this community so strong so we can continue to do things like that, continue to get the proceeds into people's hands that really need it the most, because I was there. So
Yeah.
Joe, how mad would you be mad if I ripped this open?
what is it?
I don't know, it's like an 03 Black Diamond Upper Deck LeBron Chase.
Can I see that for a second?
Can I open it first?
No, I need to see the cover. I need to see the cover. Show me the back of the box.
I'm about to say,
So first of all, this
Joe,
is from my collection.
So where did you get the box from?
So great question. So everyone always asks me that, where do you
that's
get
cool,
boxes
yeah.
like this? I'll pass it over to you.
That's cool.
So where do you get boxes like that? So I was able to,
Wow.
to just for a lack of a better term,
Look at that.
one of the things I've been really blessed with is building a network of older collectors and shops that have a lot of these items that they've held on to for a long time, and being able to buy a lot of stuff privately. Now, listen, are there occasions where we have to go on an auction? So there's auction sites that you're able to buy on. So like a Golden's of the world, right?
Mhm.
Fanatics, and sometimes they have like a monthly auction or a weekly auction you're able to grab stuff from. And it's important that you want, if you're able to get to stuff that's verified, then yeah. But most of the time, it's always we're going to try to get those things from the source, from the people that have had these things for a long time.
That's nice.
And so what makes this one really, really collectible and important is that it's right on the cover. Michael Jordan, Kobe Bryant, and LeBron James.
Mm-hmm.
This is LeBron's rookie year.
So that's guaranteed to be in there.
No.
Even with the names there.
Nope. Not even with LeBron's face on the cover of that. Absolutely no guarantee. I could rip this box up, but this box is thousands of dollars, by the way. We could rip this open right now. There is zero guarantee that any of them are in there. Or I could pull out a dual auto of Michael Jordan and LeBron James. I can pull out an auto of Kobe.
And how much would that be worth?
A lot of money, depending on which one. So there's different numbers as well. So then you have to remember there's different numbered cards. But in this set, they did these things called quadruple diamonds. And the more diamonds, the rarer that they are, the more valuable that they are. And because it's LeBron James's rookie year, obviously rookie years always are the most money.
Right.
Yeah.
But it's one of the only products where all three of them sign in. So think about that, because Kobe in 09 switched from Upper Deck to Panini. So, and LeBron came into the league in 03. And Jordan didn't sign for anybody else than Upper Deck. So first of all, Jordan is exclusive to Upper Deck. So you have to remember, okay, so now it's only Upper Deck product. Then LeBron comes to the league in 03, and then Kobe leaves them in 09. So there's only a very tight window of a product that has all of them.
So if I understand this correctly, card collectors, they purchase this box.
Or the packs inside of it. Or we can rip this open.
In 03, and they hold on to it for X amount of years and then recycle it back into the industry, sell it into the industry.
When they feel it,
But you end up paying $1,000 for that box?
Way more.
More than $1,000 for that box.
And not knowing
And
that
not
you're going to
knowing what's
have
in
one
it.
of those guys in that box.
No idea.
That's just one box.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right,
More
right.
than 1,000. No, this is thousands.
That box.
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely.
So are we going to crack this
You buying
box
it?
open on the Byron Scott Fast Break?
It don't work like that, buddy.
I like that, B. You say, I'll buy it if there's LeBron and Kobe and but that's the beauty of it, though, right?
That's
You
the
buy it and you have
Correct.
no idea. You can hit the jackpot, or you can be like, damn.
Correct. You're going to rip this open and you're going to hit a rare Kobe or a Jordan or a LeBron, or maybe you're not hitting anything.
Yeah.
But guess what? If you hit out of every single box, they wouldn't be as valuable.
Yeah, that's true.
That's what you need to remember. Like, if you ripped open this box and it was filled with LeBron autos and Jordan autos and Kobe autos and game used they're really, I mean, they'll be valuable, not going to be as valuable.
Not as much, yeah.
Right? That's the thing. So
That's crazy.
So Joe,
very cool box.
we're gonna let's get Joe out of here because we gotta do rapid fire.
yeah, let's do it.
You know.
Brought to you by Drew Estate Cigars.
And Drew Estate Cigars, guys, is one of our main sponsors. And Joe, you kind of know a little bit about me as far as my stogies.
I do.
Drew Estate makes the best stogies in the world. They got a bunch of different varieties, but I'm always on here with a Drew Estate cigar, but not today for some reason. I don't have one with me. Brian done took them all out of the box and smoked them his damn self. Didn't leave me none.
Hook us up, Drew Estate.
They make the best cigars in the world, and we appreciate it. And I always have one at least 2 or 3 times a week because I'm always on the golf course. So Drew Estate's best cigar maker in the world.
I love cigars. I love a good cigar.
Oh, well, I got one at the house for you then.
Okay, good.
There you go.
Joe Hollywood, we do rapid fire. So we ask questions. You can give us single answers. If you want to elaborate, you can if you want.
Bring it on, baby.
First card you ever owned?
First card I ever owned, 1985 pack of Topps baseball.
Ooh.
My grandfather bought it for me in a convenience store. Yeah, that was the first. It was a pack. So yeah.
Okay.
Favorite athlete growing up?
Michael Jordan.
Michael Jordan.
I like that. MJ. What's your biggest card heartbreak? One that got away. That card that you thought you had but got away.
It was on Whatnot. I sold, when I first started selling on Whatnot, I had a card that I didn't realize how valuable it was. So my son fished it out of a Tupperware, like one of those big Tupperware bins. And I started at $1 and it sold for a little bit of money. And then the guy messaged me. He was like, "Thank you so much. I just listed this on eBay for $20,000."
Oh!
I'll tell you what card it
you
is.
didn't know.
I had no idea. Because I was just getting back into it. So I had no idea.
What card was it?
It was the 1996 Hot Shots Michael Jordan with the flame die cut with the flames coming out of it, the basketball with the flames, and the card graded a gem mint. So he bought it for me raw. I had it since I bought it in 1996 when I was 19 years old. I kept it in my collection. It was in the same top loader. It never changed. I kept my cards really good. And then he pulled it out. He sent it in and got a gem mint grade.
Wow, that's crazy.
Ooh,
I have the text. I'll show it to you.
Yeah,
It's wild.
sick.
What's the most underrated player to collect right now?
Underrated player to collect. Well, you know what? Can I go by the league? I think that right now, underrated. Well, he might not be underrated, but I still think he's going to have a tremendous, tremendous career. So for me, right now in baseball, I would start collecting some Ellie De La Cruz. I think he's got a tremendous future in baseball. I think he'd be great. I mean, he might be underrated, but I do think that he's got a tremendous future. I think in basketball right now, and I'm a big basketball guy. Listen, Jalen Brunson brings that chip to the Knicks. I know everyone's seeing him move up and up and up, but I'm telling you, he brings a championship to New York after nearly 50 years. Oh, it's actually over 50 years. Over 50 years.
His card would go
His card's
crazy.
going to skyrocket. So yeah, I'd be a JV buyer right now, 100%. In football, look, I love the quarterback classes. I love the quarterback classes. You got a special quarterback right now that's building his reputation up. And for me, I would go ahead. I would be buying Jordan Love for Green Bay as a quarterback. I think everybody looks at Justin Herbert and he's a phenomenal quarterback. I'm not saying Jordan Love values aren't high, but out of that 2020 class, Joe Burrow went to a Super Bowl. Okay, Jalen Hurts went to 2 Super Bowls, won one. Everyone's in love with Justin Herbert, right? And how do you not? That Chargers team is really, really good. Tua, listen, there's medical concerns about Tua. That's why he doesn't get the love that he deserves.
Concussions and everything.
But Jordan Love, he sat on the bench for a few years. He's getting his opportunity. It's the most popular position to collect. Him right now with that Green Bay team. They got a great tight end. That guy Kraft is a really good tight end. They're building some pieces. I love their running back and Josh Jacobs. And I'm not even a Packers fan. I'm just telling you, that is a quarterback I would be.
What about the quarterback class from last year, the 24? Everybody says it's one of the best classes in the last 10, 15 years.
It is. Well, there's 2 classes, right? I mean, so there's 3 classes. As far as quarterbacks in the last quarter century, there's 3 classes that I love. And I know Mahomes is in 17, but he's really the only quarterback from 17, right? 17 was a running back class, okay? It was a running back. It was Christian McCaffrey. It was Alvin Kamara. It was Joe Mixon. That's a running back class. I know Cooper Kupp, a wide receiver, and Patrick Mahomes, right? But that's a quarterback. That's a running back class. 18. I Think about 18. There are 3 years you need to collect. 18, because you got Josh Allen, you got Lamar Jackson, you got the reincarnated Sam Darnold.
Yep.
Baker Mayfield looks like he could be the MVP right
Yeah.
now.
Yeah.
Right? So you have you got actually a pretty decent quarterback class in 18. In 20, I just named the
You just
ones
named
in
all
20.
those guys.
Yeah.
But 24, it's a little bit too young, a little bit too early to say. I gotta tell you, I'm still a Penix fan. I still think Penix has got something in Atlanta. I do. I love Bo Nix. I love that. I love Bo Nix. Drake May, what he's doing in New England. Drake May has made the biggest jump from year 1 to year 2 of any of the other quarterbacks in that class. Like Jaden Daniels is going to be in the league for a while.
Right.
Stud. Right. He made the first biggest jump, but as far as 1 to 2, you're seeing it right now with Drake May. And the problem is that there's only 2 quarterbacks from that class that have autograph license rookies, because there was a big battle between who was going to have the licensing as far as the autographs are concerned. So Michael Penix and JJ McCarthy are the only 2 quarterbacks that have a license, meaning that they're able to have the NFL logo on their cards.
Right.
The other ones, Caleb Williams, Drake May, Bo Nix, they didn't sign for Panini, even though they have the NFL contract. They signed for Fanatics. So those rookie autographs are only an unlicensed product. So it's definitely, you got to weigh what's worth more, right? Do you want the licensing or do you want their rookie autographs? The same thing with Victor Wembanyama, right? Victor Wembanyama was a rookie last year. Fanatics didn't have the license. So everyone always asks, well, is it licensed? But but you're still going to pay a lot of money for a Victor Wembanyama autograph,
without a
right?
doubt.
Yeah, so you got to weigh what's more valuable.
Wow.
Gotcha.
Okay, let me see. Who's the funniest person you've ever broken cards with?
Funniest person I've ever broken cards with. It might be double. It might be double. Listen, no. That's the most annoyed person I ever broke cards with is you, double A. I think the funniest person that I've ever broken cards with. Man, you got me in a flux right now. It might be. You know who I have a fun time with. Honestly, I have a really good time with Brandon Steiner.
Oh,
Brandon
okay.
Steiner is a funny guy. He actually will say a joke now and again, and I'll just lose it. And do you know who Brandon is? So Brandon Steiner is this legendary memorabilia guy in the Northeast. And man, he's got a couple of things that he'll just look at me or he'll say something and it just makes me laugh. It's just like, So I'm going to say Brandon.
Gotcha.
Brandon makes me laugh.
Okay.
Your dream collaboration, an athlete, a celebrity, who would that be? On your streams with you.
Dream collab. Oh. It would definitely be doing a show. It would definitely be doing a show with Jordan. That would be a dream for me. I would love to do a show with Jordan and rip open 1986 Fleer and go after his rookie cards together. I think that would be pretty
But
cool.
when you get him on the show, make sure to send him over to the Fast Break.
Yeah, I'm about to say, we
He'll be on the Fast
would
Break.
love to be there too.
Exactly.
And watch that one. All right, we got 2 more.
Yeah.
So, one word to describe Joe Hollywood's legacy.
Blessed.
Love it.
Blessed. None of this happens without God. Blessed.
Love.
Love that.
All right, last one. What's one card you will never sell no matter what?
This is the easy one. When I first got into collecting, my son actually drew me a card. And everybody asks me all the time what the most valuable card in my collection. What's the card I will never sell? And that card is the card that my oldest son drew for me and said to me, Dad, I have something to give you. And he got so excited about sports cards and doing this with me, he made this card. That card went in my safe. And that's never going to leave me. That will
Love
never
that.
leave.
Yeah, I love that.
That's the most valuable card.
Yeah, I love it.
Joe Hollywood, thank you, man, for joining the Byron Scott's Fast Break podcast. We appreciate you joining us.
Thank you, Joe.
I love being
Thank
here.
you,
guys
brother.
are awesome. Thank you so much.
And if you guys
Unbelievable.
like what you saw here, make sure you like, subscribe, and comment on our show.
And I hope to see you on Joe Hollywood. Follow me on Whatnot, Joe Hollywood.
There you
There
go.
it is, right there.
There you go.
See ya. Thank you for watching Byron Scott's Fast Break. If you like what you saw, here's some more videos. And while you're at it, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe.